Hello, Linux Mint 19.1 is live, stable, and ready to go. So we will get it's been just released. I got it from one of the first mirrors with the repo built into it. So hello, Linux Mint 19.1 is out, it's stable, and it's just in time for Christmas, which is a perfect combination. And as you can see, it's still based on Ubuntu 18.4. It is still kernel 4.15. It is still the same version of LibreOffice that was out in Ubuntu 18.4, which I believe is LibreOffice 6.06, so it's not the latest of those type of things which is stock built for Ubuntu 18.4. You still have it. What it does mean is it is still 5 years supported. So this release is still supported, and it might be 10 years, like Mark Shuttleworth said a while ago, that this release of Ubuntu 18.4, which Linux Mint 19.1 is based on, will be supported for 10 years. Now we don't know if that will be paid support after 5 years or how it will work, but it's at least supported for 5 years. And before Linux Mint 19 was released, one guy asked me when I was still a sysadmin and just about to leave my job after 5 years, and he asked me, why don't we use Linux Mint? Why do we use Ubuntu Mate? Because the whole university where I worked ran Ubuntu Mate 16.4. And I said there's one thing that stops me from putting up Cinnamon, because most of the people there is used to Windows, and I wanted to give them something which they are familiar enough with that they say, I want this on my own PC, and so I can even convert few more computers to Linux in the meanwhile and make people happy with what they have at the workspace because they know what's going on. So Linux Mint is a perfect choice for that, but automatic updates was not an option before Linux Mint 19. And I didn't know it was before beta, before I left, and I said that's the reason why it's updates. And in Linux Mint 19, without me knowing it, without me writing to them, it was fixed. And another thing which I also was liked about Linux Mint 18.3, which was perfectionized in Linux Mint 19, was system snapshots, which is still here. They didn't do a lot to it, but it is a perfect tool, not for backupping, but for system restore points. And I will put it in any Linux-based operating system now, time shift, because I think it's a vital, great working tool for system restore points, and it's due to the love it got because it got into Linux Mint 18.3, which, as we can see now, was the plan to make it perfect in the next major release, Linux Mint 19. And I'm really grateful for this tool. You can have it for weekly and daily. By default, it will not back up your home folder because it will just take too much space. So it's not a backup solution, but it's a restore point solution. And it works great. It works automatically, so you can forget about it and move on with your life. And updates also because it's automatic updates, if you want it. And then the last thing is I didn't really realize I miss it, but I actually, when it happens, it was like, yes, this is another step why I will put it in front of somebody who needs to use Linux because of the work or something like that, but they want Windows. Is this panel which they produce. If you look at, compared to the old panel, let's quickly look at everything. As you can see, it's beautiful, it's sharp. And then the updates we just have looked at. And so as you can see, it all looks beautiful. But let's look at how it looked before, that we can compare the differences. And if you don't like the new look, you can easily switch back to the old look as well. It takes a few seconds and the mouse will be a bit random, but as you can see, it all looks older. Like everything just looks older, and you can clearly see that it's a modern desktop. And then the mouse for a few seconds while it switches over struggles. If you go to documentation, you can check out the release notes, new features. Let's open that. Yeah, so it just meant things. Most of the love that was given to in this release of Linux Mint is in Cinnamon compared to the free options, because this release major standout points is Cinnamon 4.0 and Nemo 4.0. So if you look at Nemo, one of the major features which stands out for me is customize option. So you can basically choose the size of your icons. I'm a bit surprised because if you look at Antergos, I tried at Cinnamon 4.0 and they had a nice picture showing automatically what the size is going to be for these ones, and I thought it's the same going to be in Linux Mint 19.1, but it's not, but it's pretty easy to manage between your options, and it's pretty cool. And also one thing which become more and more the default now is if you go to desktop settings, it's just your apps, which you can turn on and turn off, but it's a direction. You can have horizontal or vertical as normal. So that's pretty cool. Of course, I got a string of beautiful wallpapers as you can expect of Linux Mint 19. And then the last thing which I wanted to look at was window style. Let's open up our terminal. If you go to the top, that's half of it. And then something that always bothered me also, why I don't want to put it in front of other people, was why does it only do half the screen? And there's something I learned recently, and sure is not a new feature, but you can make it full screen also by just untag this option. So let's do it again. Untag the wrong one. Oh boy. And that's why I make it special, these videos, because I make mistakes like that to show it's human and it's not too professional. As you can see, everything works. So yeah, so that is the main things that stand out for me in Linux Mint 19.1 Cinnamon Edition. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will make it 2 more of the Mate edition and the XFCE edition. And I'm also going to make a string of simple tutorials for Linux Mint 19.1. I've already made one on how to install League of Legends. I'm planning to make one how to install KDE, Plasma, and all the opponents of KDE on Linux Mint 19.1, how to install Chrome, Steam, like all the major things which people might want to do. I will make how-tos for that also. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you later. Goodbye.